All right, we're live. If you're watching the video, hello. I'm gonna recap as per usual. As per usual. What I was doing, but yeah, I'm jumping into more figures today. I swear this tab was open a minute ago. Yeah. So the goal. Well, camera setup. My eyes are tired, which is not surprising. Staring at the screen is like taking effort. New sketchbook, because this one's done. Hype. So last time did some figures, and I've got another goal today with the figures. It's not too different, but yeah, and then some doodles, some composition last change. Doodles, something from Art Fight. I was working on a candle for something, candle logo, so to speak. This was an airplane sketch. Was kind of happy with this one. Not necessarily the result, but just the fact that I kind of pulled out the sketchbook and was actually doing something. That was awesome. I felt content with actually being able to do that with some confidence, you know. I added a meteor, but it didn't really work. Was going to do more logo designs, but I kind of settled on something. And then I had the Super Honeycomb workshop. Was definitely a little underleveled to be there, but figure. I drew this with a brush pen Sunday night. One of the big takeaways, just one of those general things, like you probably hear it a lot, but it was line confidence. So instead of coming up with these scratchy gestures, like this one was pretty good as far as gesture goes, but I think there's a difference between gesture drawing and figure drawing. And then I ended with some mannequins in space. I really like this one, and then I did this one, and I'm not the biggest fan. But yeah, that wraps up this sketchbook. June 27th to July 20th. It's not the biggest sketchbook, but I do like the brand though. So this one is, I'm pretty sure it's like the same number of pages, but it's a little bigger. So I was doing some doodling last night. It's term 2 of the solo artist curriculum will go into torso anatomy. And then this was something a Pinterest referenced me yesterday, and I'm still mixed about it. I'm glad that this is too big. Their head is too big. But I am surprised that as I was working down the figure, I kind of got the proportions right, in the sense that like nothing feels too long except for the head. I started with this eye, and then I just did like a shading for the nose. I just kept it minimal. The features just were kept minimal. Hey Steve, this is Walter. Nickel to see the process of improvement rather than the finished product. That's my goal, man. I'm really thank you for saying that. It's more important to me to show where I came from as opposed to where I'm at. So the goal for today is to do some figures. I have about 40 minutes. Go ahead and kick off this timer. Gonna open some music up. I'm gonna be playing my Get Out of Here playlist on Spotify. If you look up Mobkin78 on Spotify, you can find it. And we'll set the timer for 40 and go, because I'll probably go a little over. And then some compositions, and then finishing figures. So I have 3 more days of this Fresh Eyes challenge. Looks like day 8 is a focus on twisting. So we are the 22nd. And it seems to be some emphasis on, so if I'm just kind of looking at their 2 examples, they've got the head. And one thing I'm going to keep telling myself, I'm going to write it down. Line. This pen was working very well last night. And I think actually this time it's just out of ink. I walk alone. So this is my reminder. I'm gonna grab some more ink. Fast for this soon shall pass. Didn't quite fill up the most. There we go. I think I found that there's a balance you got to maintain between between too much and too little. Wow, balance is all things should be. Anyway, that should be good. Put the cap aside. Okay, so they have the head, then I've got the egg for the torso. So my goal is, again, line confidence in the sense of like, can I just do this with one, maybe two strokes? But what I just did there, fixing that, not what I should be doing. So contour line was here, here. This is where they were kind of indicating the twist, but very particularly seems like they're emphasizing this element of the pelvis, because then I guess you can just draw the leg from here, which makes sense. Again, I'm copying this from reference, so the egg should have been further, or the hips should have been, or pelvis should have been further forward. Yeah, and I guess it's interesting to see how they used their lines, because it's, you know, here, then they go here, then they go here. I still like Hampton's gesture ways, but I do need to spice it up because there's a limit to every kind of style, right? I'll leave that one here. This wasn't quite it. So I guess they're indicating the twist with these three main shapes. So that's not, so it's very much like you should be able to get a sense of the twist from the head here. They have this icon, like this is icon here. I should be going fast on that one. This torso is far too big for this head. I'll do that. Boom. And I never really, I butchered this. I never really considered this. And the side pelvis is like hiding some of it because of the leg. So that's interesting. But, you know, this, I see, this comes up, and this comes down, and then it's this contour line that still makes the front of it. This is gonna be rough, gamers. What I do like is that here, the arm comes out, and they've got boom, 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 to show, I believe it's what, the coil or something. It's effectively just to show foreshortening. In the eyes. Here, here. I got the hand. Yeah, okay, I'll take that. And then this here. I think what's important is that, like, if you have the torso straight on, what's important to me, you know, if you're looking at it from slightly down, right, you've got this kind of contour. If you're looking at it from kind of from the top, you've got this kind of contour. And if you're looking at it from kind of the side, but also from down, your contour kind of ends up being up and then going down the side. I feel like that to me indicates you're on the side. I mean, this, what am I trying to do? This would help indicate, right? Because, you know, you've got the quote-unquote rib cage. Did some anatomy over the weekend. My anatomy knowledge is pretty decent, but it's the applying it that I need to make sure I'm good at. Anyway, I guess once again, I can't show these because again, they're not mine. And they're not YouTube friendly. Yeah. I'm not sure how I should approach. Well, I know how to approach it, I guess, because I'll just do that. Just do this way, right? So we got the head. So keep in mind that that is my head size. Nice. I do like the bigger, more real estate. It is nice to have. Can't lie. I'm trying to line up the torso. So again, kind of just thinking, you know, ghosting the lines first. Need to do a lot more of that because I want line confidence. So we got, they're kind of leaning back. Again, I just did it twice. I shouldn't have done that. And the pelvis, we're seeing the front of it, and then it's going back around. And we're going here. I feel like I should have curved this more, because then you can have the leg come in here, which about lines up. One thing I was called out was like this, the calf, yeah, forms an S curve with the front of the leg. So the back of the lower leg forms with the front of the upper leg, which I just really liked as an idea. So this is a bit long. So it really should be like that. It's okay. Indicating, you know, just looking at the sternum line here, and then you've got just a contour. Oh, that's a really steep line. I'll sail home again. Goodbye, Bria. I'm gonna do this. Just keep that angle sharp. What I like is that this kind of contour should kind of always come all the way down, right? See you around. I'm thinking of, this is the shoulder because the collarbone kind of comes up here. Here. This is, and then, yeah, sort of. Trying to keep this arm in front of, or the upper arm in front of the lower arm, or lower arm in front of the upper arm. I don't know. And then here and here, kind of got a collarbone coming down, back here. You know, this is not terrible. I kind of like it as it is right now. Sweet sorest air as the bluebirds aware they could be free. And this bicep kind of comes in front of the shoulder. This arm did not work out. To feel cold, I'll sail home again. Good morning, Kazami. I'm gonna just keep it as it is. Yeah, I don't hate it. Sweet dream. I'm gonna just make sure I can be a little faster here, right? So, oh, that's way too big. This will be the head. They're looking up and a little to the side. Butchered that, I think, but that's okay. Torso here. I don't know why I squashed that so much, but I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna make the most of that. They're definitely tilted. Again, I mean, all of these are tilted and twisted. That's kind of the point of the exercise for the day. I do like kind of drawing out the top. Comme ça, and then just kind of coming down and trying to really identify around how that lands on the hips. Because this one is, so again, I'm focusing on keeping the proportions the same, or not the same, but proportion over trying to fit it into frame. Do would ever thought all my years of making silly gaming videos would turn into just like making videos talking while I draw. So these come out, and again, this upper leg, as it kind of goes into the knee, you pivot over and around, and you draw the S here. That's clean, bro. This is the wrong way, because there's a indication of the leg going down, and or it's not. It's not. The leg is not a perfect ellipse. I think that's what I often really get caught up with. So, you. And then, this is here, it's here. Cool. Really scratchy. I think I just have to keep in mind line confidence. This person looks like they're kind of rotated. And I think it's this, hold on a second. This is not it. Something is very wrong here. Something is wrong here. I'm not going very fast. Because this should come up here. Can you feel? Can you feel? I'm not gonna draw the rib cage. The head is way too far away from the body. Line confidence. Oh God. Okay, that was a bit aggressive. I think it's just because I had just dipped the pen in the ink, and so it was kind of still all over the tip. I don't, honestly, as long as it doesn't spill anywhere, I have no problems. But hey, now the top of my finger's all inky when you get hit by a squid. This is brutal, dude. I should have done this when I first dipped it, but whatever. Anyway, this is too slow. Here. Good morning, Cinnamon Bun. Welcome back. I always feel weird welcoming people to stream. And I say always. It's not as if I'm like good at this, but it just always occurred to me that like sometimes I pop into friends' streams and like, hey, and then I would feel awkward because I'm like, I kind of want to go out. I just want to say hi to my boy, to my gamer. Okay, this butchered. I think I need to start with the lat. I mean, my anatomy is not in a drawing sense, so I could technically be wrong, but I think starting with here coming out of the torso is kind of nice. I'm gonna just leave this one here. My lung confidence is not present today. I'm not sure how to draw people with more weight on them. Like, I think it's all about how everything falls and kind of folds over the bone. There's too much space here. First of all, but like, I don't know. I'll fit in one more up top. Okay, I'm gonna try to do I call it Hampton style. It's not that I do it justice, but we got the head, and they're very much turned. What I want to focus on is, they got the cervical spine. I think this line is far too generic sometimes. So this person is rotated, so the line should kind of do that. I guess this is a curious part for me, but I think the rotation again, it's still just like this kind of fresh eyes thing. It boils down to how the head, the torso, or I guess the upper torso, all interact with each other. Right? Here. And then, yeah, this kind of cuts off. Sure. It doesn't matter. This is here. I guess. Okay, so if there's no trap here. Well, if I start here, go around, down. No, this doesn't make any sense. No, this shoulder's too big. Yeah. I guess these are nice because the three basic shapes kind of set everything else up. On to the next blank page. Interrogate the blank page. How much? 2, 3. Okay, 3 more because I do want to do compositions. I'm behind on my assignments, man. Okay, boom. Head. Kind of do the torso. And then instead of the circle, the last two, I'll try to do them in a separate style, actually. Yeah, so you got a lot of tilt here, because if the contour of this torso is here, and it's very much kind of coming around. We're kind of looking from the top, but it's pretty close to flat, so I'm not going to question it. But like this tilts significantly, and then this comes down here, and again it curves over to the back of the leg. It's a bit long, I think. My bad. Mobby. Dude, the leg shapes, the more you look at them, the weirder they get. Like, it makes sense anatomically and everything. It's just like, bro, why does the leg curve S? This is a cool foot pose. Look into my eyes. Ooh. You like you're alive. Yeah, sure. I should be going faster though. Not that I'm good enough to, but just to iterate more. There's no way. This neck is not long. Oh well. Because this face is looking up here. And then this hand is coming down. And then there's a hand over here. That's alright. And then this quote unquote method was very much just like stare at it for a minute and drawing from memory, not from observation. So I'm thinking of basic shapes on this pose. This would be way better if I could show these references. So I will definitely try and do that in the future. Torso. Try to capture in my mind certain flow of things. It's cool. And then without looking at this reference, just circle. Kind of the flow went kind of down and around. So here, and then if it went down this way, then you kind of know the pelvis has to kind of come this way because then the leg here, and I think this leg came in front. So you've kind of got this like this shape happening. Too much space. But yeah, this comes around. I don't remember the feet very well. I just remember that this one I think I'm making this up, but and then there's way too much space here because if they're bending that way, then the contour is this way. The butchered. I should just leave it, but I can't. And then they were definitely looking like this way. Yeah, no, the scale is so, proportions are so off. Oops. I got the looking direction right. Let me just. Yeah, I got this generally okay. This foot should be pointing straight up. Definitely way too tall here. Breaking down. Yeah, that's the. If you can understand, like I fully now believe that like if I can understand the form, then everything else falls into place afterwards. 110%. Because it's just like if you can remember how many cubes and cylinders make up an object, you don't need to remember all the details. It's funny, I have such a strong tendency to stretch vertically. I don't know what it is, but it's just like the line just keeps going down. All right. We're going to try to do the outline for this one, and then I'm moving on to comps. Here goes down, but that's the foot that's planted. It's a good exercise. It is exhausting if you were to do this for a while, though, because you just have to pay attention to everything. If you had a photographic memory, that's one thing, but I do not. All right. Here it comes down. Or what the is happening? Okay. The goal is to not chicken scratch. Oh wait, this is so far down. Okay. There's not enough space. I'm gonna retry it. Right here. Okay. Here to here. Brother, brother, brother. Again, I stretched it out. It's a very weird tendency. Here, the arm kind of came back down and around. This is where things really start to fall apart, man. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jump down to here, because I know that this came down and around. Oh man, there's no motion here. It's so stat. Don't trace your lines. This is just the exercise. This is the right arm. This is the left arm. So yeah, this has to kind of come down, right? I mean, I'm thinking of the anatomy here because it's gonna come down. So I'll leave that there. And then this. What is this? Peter, what is this? It should be like this. Okay, it's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be, but looking back at it, this should have gone like that. I got this part right. That is to say, like the arm folding in front of the body. This should have been like that, and this should have been more this way, and this. I mean, this is more or less correct, but that's next one. Okay, composition time. This is day 8 done. I think it's good. I'm glad I'm going through this. You know, not the best way, but it's really good to just go beyond the basic shapes, but also think about twist. Think about bass and balance. But yeah, I got about 20 minutes left. I did not think of compositions ahead of time. I'm gonna just draw some lines real quick. What's good is that the fountain pen is flowing. We love to see it. I wonder what... How to Train Your Dragon is just so easy, man. Well, not easy, but it's just... I just love those movies so much. I'm trying to think if... Any movie recs in chat? They're not good, thank you. It's just good to practice. I mean, they're all different exercises, and I need to remember that. Like, I can't compare this kind of figure of mine to this kind of figure, because this is a different exercise, and I'm really bad at it. Not that I'm great at this one, but I'm more practiced at it, which I think has its merits. I think in general with the line work too, I should just be working on longer lines. But the Lego movie could be good. I haven't thought about that one in a while. I ended on what, number 30. Okay. I'm gonna get my ruler. Wow, that slid over the sketchbook and under my keyboard. No, it didn't. It can't physically go under my keyboard. It went over the keyboard. All right. Google images. This one I can show references for. Obviously, I'm not going to take credit for anything, but ooh, what if I do games? Firewatch. I don't know why, but that game just always comes to my mind. It's a beautiful game to walk around in. If you haven't played, would recommend. It's a story-based walking sim. All walking sims are story-based. It's just beautiful. The art direction is really good, I think. Not that I can say much, but I'm gonna open 4 of these. Very naturey, which I think is good. It's alright. Good. I want to find one more. Maybe I'll just do these 3, I guess. That's 1, that's 2. Yeah, these all look pretty cool. This one's got a good perspective to it. Okay, so we'll do this one first. Love those aspects. Yeah, whoops. Whenever I get to return to game development, the big project I want to go back to is Seashell. I don't know where to put this reference. I'm gonna put it up here. So I'll kind of draw here. You know, I should move myself. Why have I never done this? I'm righty. I'm drawing over here. Anyway, generic aspect ratio, cool. I do want to just see what happens with straight edge, because the previous sketchbook was nice, like the size, just because so we're here and here. Whoops. Bro has a ruler, doesn't use it. That was somewhat intentional. I just want to make sure I'm not I don't tend to take up the whole page. I should go down a little bit more. Yeah, I cannot use these lines because I will have a tendency to kind of. I'll make this wider than it should be. I don't know if it's a subconscious or psychology thing, but just the tendency to want to use all the space available. Anyway, so we got. This is pretty split into thirds. I love that. You get the rocks here. These go down. A little bit of that. A little bit of that. Again, like confidence, brother. So this rock is like right there, but then this down here looks more like a trail. So I'm curious, how does this? I think the space is established in terms of the trees that are present. Home to the place that I remember. The land of my first love. So if I do this outline, dense hatching, less dense hatching. I don't know if this is going to do anything, but we'll see. Hey, Safe. Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm doing okay. Things have been alright. How are you? Alright, this is a bit big, but the important thing is that the playlist today is my Get Out of Here. Get Out of Here on Spotify. By Mobkins78, MOBKNZ78. That's my Spotify name. It's my name in many places, but okay, so if we line up here, the hand, I should be going a little faster, I think. I'm like too scared of getting this wrong. It's like no matter what happens, I'm gonna get it wrong, you know? I'm fine. Capital F, fine. Feel that. Again. Oh, you know what? I just realized. Ah, shucks. I don't know how I'm gonna. Shoot. Butchered this. It's gonna look like it's a 3-finger hand. I know why it doesn't look like that. It's too big. There's a lot of things that just happened here. Dang. I mean, I know hands are difficult, but I butchered this. I'm gonna actually. Because there's no, the hand's not, I'm doing a hand like this. I should be doing a hand like this. Yo, subtweeting through a playlist is crazy. Okay, so I'm gonna do this just to kind of adjust the hand a little bit. What I like is this, keeping the lighting up here and kind of having it come in. That'd be brutal. Hey, here's a playlist you should listen to. Get away from me. I'm not going to use graphite today, apparently. That's a decision I've just forced myself to make. So this, the thumb should be here. The thumb, okay, well, I'm just going to finish this up. Here, do this, mountain. Let your spirits flow. Don't hook your hatching, brother. And then to indicate that these trees. What I need to make sure is these trees don't end up being too big. And I'm just gonna indicate the trees. I am not drawing all of them. Because now, if we establish this is the generic tree, we can put it. See, this is I can't fit the tree, so. Yeah, no, it's all, it's all relative. Yes. Come on. It is kind of coming together, though. It's kind of fun to watch this part. Also, I'm just drawing the wrong fucking tree. I should be going up. Every artist knows it's a great challenge. Yeah, it's a fun challenge, though. I definitely want to do more of it. I'm definitely going to need to do more of it. I don't think hand anatomy comes around to, term 4 of the solo artist thing, but I gotta... It's one of the more interesting aspects of art, I find. Of all the things to study and for me to be fascinated by, hands are up there. I don't know if it's because of just... Yeah, see, I don't understand how this happens. We're just gonna... I just don't get it. Because this looks okay. This here. And then you've got the mountains that start. But then all of a sudden, I'm a third across the board. And I should be a fourth tops. I think the hand effed it all up. Well, my rendition of the hand. Also, this hatching should be not straight. Maybe this is the note side. Scale off. Plot out more references to adjust to. Put the mountain and then the hand. Need more effective way. Way to decide positions on a macro level. That was a lot of words for small point, but oh well. That one's done. Cool. I got about 10 minutes. Oh, I have 7 seconds on my timer, but I have 10 minutes. So here's the next one. This one's cool. Love this. Buc-ee's. Yeah. Texas. Buc-ee's is wild. If you're gonna imagine going into a Walmart, but then everything is only Walmart branded. I mean, everything. Inner tubes, grills. This got this beaver on them. Okay, bro's gonna use straight edge this time. Okay, I like the length here. And I think that's good. Okay. Really, bro? My guy. Okay. So this is classic darts. I mean, you've got the rock that kind of comes up about a fourth of the way, right? So now, okay, so this is what I was trying to think about earlier. So here, this rock is here. So now I'm confining myself to this entire space because I think what is happening is I'm seeing how big it is, and I'm thinking it's big. Like, it is literally very small because this is below, like, top of the house is here. So if I started drawing just from this one way, I would end up taking up the whole half of this. Like, even this rock might be too big. Even this rock is too big. I'm just like, I mean, that's the whole point of art, right? But I'm seeing the space that this artist has created, and they've just done such a good job. Yeah, this was a really difficult one for me to do. Well, I mean, that's the job, right? Yikes, dude. Alright, this is okay. We'll make it work. So, I'm just going to make sure that this converges properly with everything. Kind of eyeballing it a little bit. Yeah, that's okay. There's a lot of rocks here. This would be a good one to study in terms of just like seeing how rocks are done on not a cartoon level, but and I think what I love about Firewash's art style is just very concept arty and just very painted. Because at the end of the day, what's rocks except a bunch of shadows? You know what I mean? So see how I'm already forlorn sigh. But I'm glad I did the multiple reference points because I would have confused myself so much. So I think this really is going to come down to just learning to see. Because look at this. This rock looks okay. This one, it looks okay, right? These two next to each other, they look fine. But look at the reference. My mouse is going to show up? No, it's not. Look at the two rocks in the reference. If you take the tip of this rock, so if it kind of comes down and around, right? Go straight up. What do you hit? Well, exercise do on your own. Do you hit the middle of the cabin? No. No, you don't. You definitely do not. So it's just I was doing like I was waiting for the bus yesterday and I was doing a sketch of some parking lot. Like it's the same exact thing happened and I just rock bottom. True. Exactly. I observe things really well. Thank you. I don't know. I mean, part of my incentive for this is just trying to teach myself a new way of seeing the world. The world. Like, this rock should be massive, dude. It's rough. I'm struggling. Should be this rock is so cool, except I didn't give it space somehow. I think I'm partially like drawing too small, which is okay, because again, I should be doing thumbnails. We're thumbnailing, right? This is a thumbnail composition exercise that I've turned it into. I'm not trying to create environmental paintings. Like, this railing is kind of important, but I have no space to indicate it. I'm just gonna do this flying here. Which it's nice that I kind of got this size right. So in general, this is it, right? But what happened if I take the measuring tool, right? This rock is, I don't know, 2 centimeters tall, and the cabin from tip to cabin to bottom of deck is 2.5 tall. And so if I take this is 1 centimeter. This is 1.5, so it's just too big. I just messed up the scale. That's okay. Figure it out, push it. But now we get to do clouds. Who doesn't love to do clouds? I mean, they're a pain in my ass, but I love clouds. My time, and again, rocks and clouds, man. What are they but a little shading, a little shadow? Back and say, could have been me. Could have been me. Oh. I'm not good at clouds, man. I'm not good at a lot of things, but that's why I'm here, right? I should be flowing more because it's not the edge of the cloud that's going to define the cloud. Part of me, I think, wants to define the edge with shadow. I should do like a texture study of clouds, but here we are. So I'm not using graphite. I'm trying to just maybe line weight my way out of this one. Not that I'm good at it, but yeah. All right, 32. Hopefully I can crack the case of misperceived scale someday with more practice. I usually say this, but I'm gonna try to do more today. Jiu-jitsu tonight. I'll bring my sketchbook to the office. Sketch during lunch, hopefully. I'm gonna wrap up for now. I gotta get going. I want to take a little mental break, but the next one, I do want to do this one. I just like the perspective on this one. These are, you know what? I should actually just make that note to myself now. Like, established perspective would concretely establishing perspective help? Because, I mean, hold up. Let's bring this back real quick. Just want to talk about it for a second. So we have this, right? If we were to concretely specify the vanishing points, I think I would at least get a better idea of where it is in space. Because what's happening is like, and I guess I kind of called this out with the first one up here, right? Incidentally, where I was like, oh, this rock is up close. These trees are far ahead. How do I do this? My first thought was like the size of the trees. Because if the tree back here is really small, but up here it's really in front, you kind of get this sense of like, it's the same tree, so therefore a small tree back, and using the Gestalt principles. But trace the perspective points, that's usually pretty helpful. I want to, like, these are so far away, and I think, so if you were to trace these, right, if you were to put the vanishing points on this image, right, and tracing these, because they're near parallel, that I mean, first of all, the horizon line is below our image, right? It's, it's out over here. That because they're almost parallel, they're so far away from you. If I have a cube and it's strongly converging, you have that point. this should be even steeper. Right, this corner is really close to us. But if you have a cube of a similar size and like a similar vanishing point-ish, all of a sudden, this cube is either really close or really far away and it's really big. You don't know, right? You don't know if there's a small cube in front of you or a really big cube far away. But this one, it could also be a small cube, but you know that this corner is way closer to you. And that's not really, it's not physically closer to you, but it's because the quote-unquote camera is, foreshortened lens. And if you want to make it even closer to you, watch me butcher this, but you curve it. Right, and you start to create this wide-angle lens effect for yourself. I kind of did butcher that, but that's okay. And then you get the really close sphere. What are you writing? I'm just writing notes. I'm trying to calm myself out. Stuff to come back to in future composition or future attempts. Because you don't improve if you don't reflect, in my opinion. Yeah, if I just kind of blindly keep going and I don't reflect on these, I'm just going to create the same thing over and over again. Anyway, thanks everyone for stopping by. Appreciate it. Good start to my day as always. If I do things right, you'll see me here tomorrow morning with more pages filled out. I'll probably do some plants. That's ultimately what I'll end up doing. Yeah. Peace.